Welcome, ladies and gents. Welcome to the weekly wrap. I am your main man, Mr. Levels, aka Pips, aka Hop, aka It's Up There. You know, today I'm going to be going over the technical analysis, and Corman's going to be coming on later on in today to give us the fundamental analysis. Cool beans? Cool beans. So, as always, before I jump into it, let me give a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Anything that I share throughout this analysis is for educational purposes only. I repeat, this is not financial advice. Any and everything that I share throughout this analysis is for educational purposes only. Cool beans? Cool beans. Well, let's jump into it, ladies and gents. If we look back at the beginning of the week in the midweek analysis, I told you guys in the beginning of the week, which we were here at the beginning of the week. We was on this daily calendar here. This is the daily time frame. So every candle represents a day, one day, right? So we were here Monday. I told you guys that I wanted to see how price reacted to these levels. These levels being this blue shaded area, which is a daily inverted fair value gap, right? Because this was the original fair value gap. It was created. Price came back down, respected it, pushed up, came back down through it, turning it into an inverted fair value gap. So now, if price is going to continue lower, price should not break and close back above the upper level of this fair value gap, right? We can see price push up above the consequent encroachment being the 50% level of that daily fair value gap, right? This yellow line, that is consequent encroachment as coined by Michael Huddleston, right? We can see price break and close above that, right? To come up into this imbalance that we see here on this daily candle, right? To fill that in, right? But as long as we continue to close below or break back below and close below the consequent encroachment, right? That's still showing us that price still has willingness to go low, right? But if we break above um the upper level of that daily fair value gap, right? That's showing us that price still has willingness to push high, right? Is that understood? Cool beans, cool beans. So being that price did not break and close back above consequent encroachment last week, or this week, should I say, or this previous trading week, right? I am still on the bearish side for the dollar index, right? And we know that my level for the dollar index is down inside of this daily imbalance, aka this daily fair value gap that I have outlined here, right? So I would like to see price come down into their daily fair value gap, right? That is my bias. That is the side of the market that I am on for the dollar index. Cool beans, cool beans. So with that being said, let's look at our currency pairs. We obviously know if I'm bearish the dollar that I'm bullish currency pairs because the currency pairs that we trade in my group, they are inversely correlated with the dollar, meaning that they move in the opposite direction of the dollar. So being that I'm bearish the dollar, of course, I'm bullish currencies, right? Euro USD, I'm bullish. I would like to see us continue higher, coming up into these PD array levels that we see here, marked in blue, up into this imbalance, right? So that's where I'm looking for price to gravitate towards, right? Running this swing high first, this swing high next, and then getting up into those levels. Cool beans? Cool beans. And of course, if we can't break and close back above this structure here or this swing high here, right? Then I expect price to dig further lower into this swing low and possibly this daily fair value gap or imbalance that we see here. Cool beans? Cool beans. Same thing with the pound. I would like to see us continue higher, right? Now we could open up for the new trading week and come down into this imbalance and go higher off of these monthly, off of this monthly PD array level. I don't want to see us break back below the monthly 79% PD array level, right? I would allow for price to come down into that level, but I don't want to see us break and close below it, okay? Cool beans. If we do, right, then I expect price to continue lower down into this daily imbalance, aka fair value gap that we see. Cool beans, but my bias is to the upside for the pound as well as NZD USD. Now I told you guys in the beginning of the week, in the midweek analysis that I wanted to see NZD come down into this daily imbalance or daily fair value gap, right? And we did get that move last week. Last week was all bearish days for NZD USD. So I do expect us to open up bullish, right? Now, I can see price reaching down as we open up in Asian markets tomorrow. I can see price slowly accumulating and I can see price wicking down some to run this swing low, right? To clean that up before continuing to the upside to push back up into some of these daily fair value gaps that we see to the upside for NZD USD. Right? I do see NZD USD pushing back up to retest this fair value gap. Not saying that we're going to swing all the way back up into these monthly PD array levels and run that monthly buy side liquidity here, but I do at least want to see NZD USD push back up into this inverted daily fair value gap that we sliced through here last week. Cool beans? Cool beans. So, with that being said, last but not least, let's look at futures. If you recall, I told you guys that I expected ES to pull down into these discount PD array levels this week, right? And once we reach those levels, I expected us to buy up off of those levels. I expected bullish price action off of these levels. That's exactly what we got for ES this week. So beautifully played out this week for ES. Beautiful sell to the downside. And if you caught the buy off of the PD array levels that I have marked here to the downside, you definitely caught some nice pippage to the upside. Over 50, I mean, sorry, not pippage, some nice ticks to the upside over at its peak Friday. If you caught that buy, you was up at least 320 something ticks, right? Over 80 handles for ES. So those are great numbers, right? Great profits if you caught that trade. And if you caught the move down, even better. I mean, down to those levels, you was looking at over 600 something ticks. So beautifully played out this week for futures. Same thing across the board for NQ. I told you guys that I expected us to pull down into these PD array levels that my mouse is hovering over now. We got that, right? Now I did want to see price springboard off of that monthly buy side liquidity right here that we came back down into. I expected price to springboard back up off of that, but I told you guys Wednesday that if we push below and close below that monthly buy side liquidity, that I expect the price to reach down into this daily imbalance here. That's exactly what we did, right? And then when we got down into that daily imbalance, when we got to the lower end of that fair value gap for that daily fair value gap right here that I'm identifying right now, price came down into there to that lower level of that fair value gap and gave us a bullish play to the upside for ENQ, which was a good play to the upside at its peak. Over 200 something handles, over 1,000 ticks. So yeah, beautifully played out for NQ this week as well. And yeah, I expect us to see bullish price action out of both ES and NQ this trading week, this upcoming trading, right? And I expect us to see lower price action out of the dollar. Cool beans? Cool beans. So I expect lower price action out of the dollar, bearish price action out of the dollar this week, and bullish price action out of currencies and futures. And last but not least, to close it out, looking at Bitcoin. Yeah, we're in the last 2 quarters of a bullish cycle for Bitcoin. So I do expect us to break all-time highs, which is around 73,000. And I don't know if Bitcoin is going to hit 100,000 by the end of the year, but I expect us to get really close to it. Probably around 90, 95,000 or something like that. And so with that being said, my major play for this bull cycle is the dog go to the moon Rune. It is the number one meme coin on the Bitcoin blockchain. And yeah, this is my play. This is a long-term play for me. I'm playing this for at least a year to 18 months. Well, I say six to 8 months. If it doesn't hit a 50, if it doesn't hit around a 30 to $50 billion market cap within 6 to 8 months, then I'll be riding it out for at least 12 months to 18 months until we hit around 30 to 50 million, 50 billion with a B market cap. When we hit that 30 to 40 billion market cap, I will be taking um about 70% of my profits out of the markets to roll some of that over into some real estate and some other asset classes. I'll be leaving about 30 to 20% in. So when we do sell off to discounted prices, then I will be looking to, take some of those profits that I took out, and then put some of that back in on top of the 30% that I left in to ride back up for the next swing up. Because I do see DAO as being a longevity meme coin. It's not really a meme coin. It's not technically a meme coin. It's just labeled as a meme coin, but DAO is so much more than a meme coin. Do your own research. Go and research Leonidas NFT on Twitter. That's his Twitter handle at Leonidas NFT. And yeah, you will learn all about. He's the developer for the DAO coin. You'll learn all about. And as a matter of fact, go to doggotothemoon.io. 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 And you can learn everything there is to learn about Dogcoin and why it's so powerful and why Bitcoin Maxis is getting behind Dogcoin. So yeah, with that being said, I'll go ahead and end this weekly wrap up. Like I said, Coleman should be coming on later to give you guys the fundamental wrap up. So with that said, if these analysis add any value to your life, please feel free to like, share, and most of all, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps out a lot. If you're interested in joining my private Telegram group, go to precisionpipsllc.com and sign up for the silver package. That's $150 a month. So with that being said, as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight, coming out, getting this knowledge and empowering yourselves. Let your family and friends know you love them while they're still here, please. And as always, peace and love, everyone. You know